Wait for it. Wait for it, and you're live. Hey, all you crazy sci-fi and fantasy fans. It's time for your daily dose of shenanigans over here at the Blasters and Blades podcast. Just a couple of nerdy veterans, a Stabby chaos coordinator, and one chief Shenanigator, geeking out over our science fiction passions and fantastical fantasies. Fantasies. I don't even know what that is. A place where magic is king. The sky is the limit, and space is the place. We are the podcast that puts the fun in dysfunction. So without further ado, we're going to let our guests introduce themselves. We're going to start with alphabetical order according to the great oracle known as Word Perfect. And we're going to go with you, Madam Charlie Cox.
Hey everybody, I am Charlie Cox. I write science fiction and military fantasy with a sense of humor because life can be dark, so let's embrace a little joy wherever we can find it, and I'm happy to be here.
Wait, what if we laugh at the darkness? Does that work too?
Absolutely. I mean, they say the dark side has cookies, but if there's not chocolate in the cookies, then they don't count.
There's cookies. There's chocolate in the cookies. Can confirm.
Oh, well.
Well, one thing I did learn about the darkness and all of that is whenever you're working to fight that, whatever side of the darkness you're fighting for, if they feed you really, really well, that means something bad's about to really, really happen. One time they offered me steak, I was a little suspicious.
I don't want to throw myself in a stew pot. That would not be fun. No.
Yeah, no. Okay. Next, we have the lovely Miss Jana S. Brown and her multiple personalities. I don't know who's talking to us today. Is she in the room with us today?
It's all right. We're just kind of I'm recovering from a cold, and fortunately, it's not as bad as poor Miss Stabby's over there. But it means that me, myself, and I are all just kind of stuck in here being congested. But that's okay. What was that?
Is Irene in there with you?
Shh, we don't talk about Irene. Kind of like Bruno. It's one of those things we don't talk about. Anyway, I am Jana S. Brown. I write speculative fiction under the pen name Jenna Ray, and that includes science fiction, urban fantasy, and whatever else the mind squirrels come up with. I write the weird and the wonderful with Smoochies, and I'm glad to be here.
Okay, and in the side chat, because you can't see that, dear listener, they are trying to tempt me to break my diet with the concept of double chocolate chip cookies with Andy's mint cookies in them. So cookies with cookies in them. This is very meta.
They taste like Girl Scout Thin Mints, but they're crispy on the outside and fudgy on the inside, and it's so good.
Mm-hmm. All right, so instead of talking about food, I'm going to let Miss Melissa McShane introduce herself to our listeners.
I'm Melissa McShane, and the reason he says that is that I write food descriptions that make you hungry. I am the author of many fantasy novels, including some historical fantasy and urban fantasy and everything in between. And I am really happy to be here.
Yes, we should call her Melissa Bad for Your Diet McShane. That should be her official writing name.
I will take that gladly.
Add that to your business card.
I will.
Sounds like a boxer's name. And in this corner, Melissa Bad for Your Diet McShane.
All right, and last but certainly not least, we have the one, the only Terry K. Job. I don't know if we're talking with the legendary voice actress or the inspired novelist, but both of them are here with us tonight.
I'll let you decide which one's which. Terry K. Job, audiobook narrator, baby author, and just here to have a good time.
Right, so dear listener, we're going to start the show off, and they say not to do this in podcast land, but we're going to do it anyway, and I've got some bad news. This is the last episode for us.
Of the year?
In season 5.
Gotta soften that blow, man.
You know that was coming. You know that was coming.
Okay.
Parachute on it.
All right. I'm the idiot that out of a plane without a parachute. Nick is right. So this is the wrap-up episode. So first off, instead of the religion question, how was your Christmas?
It was awesome. I got everything I asked Santa for.
Did you get a Red Rider BB gun?
No. I got another one for
Did you shoot your eye out?
No. Safety first,
got
man.
both his eyes.
Safety always first. And
I've actually met someone who shot their eye out with a Red Rider BB gun. No joke.
No. I don't believe that.
No, he was a neighbor of my grandparents, and they lived in northern Indiana where it was cold. And he got the Red Rider BB gun, and he thought it'd be cool to shoot up at the icicles. And he shot the icicle took his eye.
Oh my
Lord. So technically, he did shoot his eye out.
Did he wear an eye
hurt.
patch? Because that's cool.
He did have an eye patch. And I did verify that story with his wife and mother, because his mother was the other neighbor. Because, families that live together in farming towns, live near each other, I mean. And she still was hot about it. She's like, I told his dad not to get him that.
I told his dumbass not to do that.
He was too young to get the catchphrase, hold my beer. Hey, y'all, watch this.
No, he was hold my hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So what about
That's
you?
true.
How is Christmas in India for you, Melissa? What's that like every year?
Actually, Christmas in India is a pretty big deal. It's like the religions are pretty much evenly divided between Christian, Muslim, and Hindu, and so everybody celebrates to some degree everybody else's major holiday. And so my Hindu neighbor was talking about she got her Christmas tree and her lights, and they just and my husband's coworker was telling us, he's Catholic, and he was telling us that all their neighborhood goes to mass on Christmas Eve, on midnight mass, and they all get together and they're walking down the street and people just start joining them until it's this huge crowd that's all walking to midnight mass. And it's just beautiful. It's a wonderful way to celebrate. I think that they're, not necessarily sharing the religion, but they share the hope and the joy and just the whole attitude of Christmas, and it's really beautiful. However, I spent Christmas in Utah with my family. We made our quarterly trip, and my son actually screwed things up by going with his mother-in-law and his wife to Reno for Christmas, and so we had to celebrate on the 20th, and that was a lot of fun. We all get together and we eat food and watch movies, and we did all our Christmassy stuff with stockings and presents and stuff. So I got to have both.
But the fun thing this opens up for me, just a second, JR, is that Melissa and I kind of share her daughter. She moved up to India, and her daughter moved into my house and has been my bonus daughter. But it means that she spends Christmas with me because she wants to unwrap presents with my 12-year-old and get up first thing in the morning, all that kind of stuff. And then we shower her with presents. And then she goes back home to hang out with Melissa and to sleep. So it's always funny because she spends Christmas Eve with her mom, and then she spends Christmas Day with her bonus family and gets twice as many gifts. So this 30-year-old
it's like being divorced without the
system.
I was just that. I didn't want to say anything.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
She's fully aware of the fact she's gaming the system. She's perfectly happy about it because she gets presents on that with that family, and then she has presents with this family. Last year, she and my daughter made a big turkey thing for the window, and on each feather they wrote something they were grateful for. And one of her feathers says, "I'm grateful I have 2 families and all the loot." So
all the loot.
Because Christmas
another feather, but still.
Because Christmas Eve is the big family get together holiday for me, and so then we do like our religious stuff on Christmas Day. But I have both my married children have family in Utah that live nearby, and so it makes it easier on them if we can say, all right, just you do what you need to on Christmas Day, just make sure you're here for Christmas Eve, and it keeps everybody happy. So it's been great.
That sounds a lot more normal than I was in India, but now you're like, yeah, I was just in Utah, nothing special.
Yeah, whatever. I'm in my actual library. I miss my library. It's sad.
Yeah.
It's a sad thing.
I wish I had a big enough room to put a library like that. I got goals.
Yep.
Why do you need a mansion, JR? You don't have that many kids, but I've got books.
Yep, books. Gotta have the books.
I got comics and Star Wars stuff I have to display.
But comics take up less space than books because they're thinner.
Not if you got enough of them.
You've got enough of them.
Yep.
Oh, I wonder how much
technically can be a library if you count comic books.
Well, I wonder how much girth the sleeves to protect the comics books adds to them, because you got to protect the pages and stuff.
A couple of microns.
Microns.
I don't know.
5 millimeters, más o menos.
Yeah.
Okay.
So last time we counted, we were at 642 without the comic books, which technically makes us a personal library.
Yeah.
I got twice as much of that in comics.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
What
I'm
about
proud to
you,
say
Jana? We're gonna hold the breath while he considers his addiction to comic books. And what did you do on Christmas?
Well, it's the holiday season, so I did what I always do, and I fed lots of people. Because
Mm-hmm.
pretty much I start baking in October, and there's baking and candy making and pies and all the things, and that goes from there until the New Year's. And then I throw anything that's left out because I have had so much sugar that I'm just vibrating, and so is most everybody else. And, we reboot and have a slightly healthier diet starting in January. But
So
our kids came home for visiting. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
What I'm hearing is we need to live close enough that we can get the loot you throw away.
Oh yeah, come on over. Even before that, I just hit, gosh, how many pounds of fudge did I do this year? It would have been about 75 pounds of fudge because I did some extras for the husband's work.
I was going to say that's more than usual.
Yeah, it's up a little bit this year. And the toffee is probably at about the 25 pounds and 10 pounds of divinity. And then dipped chocolates this year, mint truffles and centers and all sorts of stuff. So that's what I do is I bake the entire season. I feed people a whole lot of food, and my grandchildren got to come and visit, and that's always so much fun. And then I've got another diabetes. Nice. We had a nephew get married on the 13th of December, and then we have a niece getting married in just a few days on the 3rd of January. So I've also been making wedding cakes and gluten-free donuts and stuff. So it's a big baking and reading books and just comfortable holiday for us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I actually made a bunch of peanut butter cookies for Thanksgiving, and they said, just wait till they're brown, JR. And of course, you tell that to the colorblind guy. So apparently my cookies were burnt offerings to the Greek gods. And so I went out and I bought this really fancy, in time for Christmas, this really fancy digital thermometer that I had to add an app to my phone because instead of a digital readout, you got to have apps for everything these days. And then so my family's like, no, JR, you just wash the dishes. Well, we don't trust you anymore. And I'm like, I bought the thermometer.
Support women.
I bought the
thermometers are really cool. We have those, the meter thermometers.
Yes.
And so you have 4 probes, you can stick them in different places, you get different channels. And yeah, my husband loves that. He makes prime rib and there's a meter stuck in all different things to make sure it all cooks exactly the way that he wants it. And
it's an alien.
They wouldn't let me play with it, Jana. They didn't trust me anymore. They said, no, just wash dishes, JR.
One little fire.
Yeah.
JR, if it makes you feel any better, I always overcook the sugar cookies because I put colors in them so I can't see when the edge is brown.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And they're always hockey pucks. A slice of bread in the container though just makes them all soft and gooey again. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Duly noted. If I burnt them again, I'll just add some bread.
Mm-hmm. Well,
bread makes everything better.
I mean, bread is my weakness. Like you can have all the candy you want to, but you give me some bread pudding and I'm just like, you want me to invade what country? Give me some more. So
we'll
what about you?
War crimes for bread.
I will. I won't do anything for a Klondike bar, but you give me some nice bread and desserts. And I'm just saying, we can negotiate.
All right. Good to know. Our Christmas was great. We did the usual. We spent, Christmas Eve with Travis's family and then Christmas with my family at the coast. It's about a 2-hour drive and it was good. My oldest, he's 27. He lives a couple hours away. He came down with his girlfriend. So we got to visit with him and Santa was good to both of the boys and brought presents for the dogs and the horse and everybody was happy and we ate too much and it was a really good holiday.
Nice. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're supposed to do Christmas for the dog too? Nobody told me this.
Our dogs and our horse have stockings, and Santa brings them presents as well.
Yes, JR, we also have a dog now. Ranger needs a stocking.
Yeah.
Apparently
we leave carrots for the reindeer. So I guess the reindeer are the ones filling the animal stockings. I'm not exactly sure how it works.
Yeah.
Well, we did watch the Santa Claus this year, so we know those reindeers, they'll leave presents if you're not nice to them. So
yeah, it depends on the type of present though. I wouldn't want to make Comet mad. He might leave some pellets. I don't know.
All right, circle back to the Santa Claus movie review episode, dear people, if you want to know what we're talking about. And, not Janice Fudge, because Janice Fudge was not involved in that scene. Carrie, how was your Christmas in the great white Colorado mountains?
Well, first, I'm 2 hours from the mountains, so it was very brown. Honestly, boring compared to everybody else. The husband and I just stayed home. We had a nice little beef roast dinner, and it was just a pleasant little Christmas with us and the cats.
Did you harvest the beef yourself? Did you go out into the field? Because, Colorado is like that. They got a little bit of everything. Like, you just go, oh, I want Daisy over there, and that's dinner? Is that how that works?
You probably could. I would just be concerned about the ranchers coming after us with a shotgun. So I try to avoid doing that.
That's fair. Mm-hmm. I mean, I try to have hobbies. Like, I didn't grow up in the country, so I don't know how those things work. But I know people used to tip over them for fun, or at least that's what I'm told.
Mm-hmm. That's what I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
Have you tried it? Has anybody here tried that? Is that a thing?
Tipping a cow? Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
It's a thing, but it's not something you actually want to do. These are very, very large animals, and if they spook, they will step on you, and you'll break. You will break before they will. You leave the cows alone.
It takes, not to mention you could, and you could kill them in the process. So
yes,
FYI,
that would be
you
bad.
Can break legs and bad things happen, and then the farmers get really mad. And
see, this is what happens when your entire knowledge of the beef industry comes from memes.
Don't do it.
Good to know. Does this mean bulls don't actually go in China shops anymore?
Well, I suppose they could, but
it's been a minute. But yeah, I guess.
All right. So since we're airing this, I'll be airing it the early in the wee hours of the morning of Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, as we air this. Do you guys have any New Year's Eve traditions?
Go to bed at 10. Wake up with the fireworks.
Okay.
We're really boring that way. I mean, Christmas eats up all of my holiday energy, and by the time it's New Year's, I'm just ready for everything to go back to normal so I can get back to my routine. So, yeah, very boring.
Yeah, we're kind of the same. Since we're on the West Coast, we observe the ball drop at 9:00 our time, which is midnight Eastern. And then it's, I'm not a real big champagne person. Maybe I'll do a glass of Prosecco if I want something sparkly. And we'll do that at 9:00 and then kiss goodnight, Happy New Year, and we're in bed. We stay home. We don't go out. We don't party. We're old and we're boring, but we like it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know. Old and boring, but we like it that way. That's got to go on the merch. Nick, write that down.
There you go.
You didn't. Old, we're boring, and we like it that way.
We're developing all sorts of catchphrases tonight.
You didn't ask me how my Christmas was, JR.
I thought Nick spoke for both of you because you were sick.
Oh, that never happened. No.
That's so mean because my son turned 16. He turned 16. That means that my baby can drive, and that's so dang scary.
Stay on the
sidewalks in California will never be safe again.
No, I'm telling you. But as for New Year's, we watched the New Year's Eve horror movie called The New Year's Eve, and it's about a serial killer. But I mean, it's a Stabby thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's on brand for you. Mm-hmm. Because of that, and we'll go into it more in the Start for Season 6 episode. That's just the co-hosts, but we've actually had a few indie horror creators reach out to us about talking about their movies as movie review episodes.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're good so we can say good things. Because I don't know enough one way or another, but Nick and Stabby can be critical judges of horror.
We are the aficionados. If it's that elevated horror stuff, I'm going to tear it down because that stuff's boring.
I'm just glad people are starting to figure out we're here. Like, we're not just sneaking into the void. So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we'll take it.
I'll watch their horror stuff this way. Mm-hmm. I can't see it. It can't get me. We're fine.
I mean, the funny thing is I've seen some dark stuff. I've done some dark stuff. I don't mind any of that. I don't have a weak stomach, but horror, I just don't like it. I'm just like, I mean,
my first grown-up job was for Circus in Las Vegas, the casino. And it was inside the Adventure Dome, which is Las Vegas's version of a theme park. But it was the beginning of October, so it turns into Fright Dome. So it's just horror everything. And when that's your first job and you work from 7 p.m. to 3 a.m. and you just have monsters running around outside your office, scary clowns chasing people up and down the hallways, like at a certain point, you just get desensitized to it. So, like, I liked horror movies already before that because I liked the jump scares. I liked being, that adrenaline rush. But after doing a couple years of Fright Dome, it's gotten to the point where we start watching horror movies and I'm like, that's the bad guy.
But there's a difference between spooky, because I like spooky stuff. I like even psychological horror, but the splatter goer thing, not for me. And I don't like being scared that way because it immediately turns into flight or fight, and it's mostly fight. And I got kicked out of a haunted house as a teenager for that. But it was his own fault because they're not supposed to get that close to you. And they did, and there was hitting involved, and then they asked me to leave.
In all fairness, the clowns were told to stay away from my office. I worked in I set up the birthday parties and hosted the birthday parties when they wanted them there. That was my job. I was the event coordinator. And the clowns were told to stay away from my office because I did let my directors know, like, hey, I'm terrified of clowns. They need to stay away from my office. And these were the clowns with the prosthetic teeth and everything. And one of them thought it would be funny to stand on the trash can just outside my office and jump down at me when I came out. And I was wearing a pencil skirt and heels that night because I had a high profile party. So there is no flight in heels.
No.
There is only fight. And so when he jumped down at me, I swung. And next thing I know, there's a sleeping clown on the floor. And I have to call my boss and let him know that I just kind of accidentally knocked out one of the actors. And
his own fault.
I go and I check on the party. I make sure they're set up. I go up to my manager's office and the clown is sitting there holding tissue to his nose because he's still got a bloody nose. And I was like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hit you. You scared me. And I'm in heels tonight, so I couldn't run. And my boss goes, you don't apologize. He was warned. And then he looks over and he goes, son, apologize to Marissa. And I was like, son? And he's like, yeah, you knocked my kid out. And I was like,
oops.
And I'm like, am I fired? He's like, no, he was warned to stay away from you. So
well, now he knows.
The clowns never came near me again.
I don't understand the fear of clowns, but for me, clowns are always bozo, and they give you Schwinn bicycles and Otis Spunkmeyer cookies.
Well, there is that.
Clowns to me were always Pennywise.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, moving right along.
So, wow, that's okay. So, punching clowns. We should add that to our holiday repertoire then.
You should, because John Wayne Gacy was the thing.
Has anybody else in the audience punched a clown? Is that something we need to take a poll? What about you, dear listener? Are you punching clowns? No.
I had one of those inflatable ones when I was a kid, but I don't think that counts.
No,
they are fun. Good practice.
I will allow it. It's practice for punching the real thing, I guess. So, all right, okay. So now that we've talked about your Christmas and your clown punching penchant, what about New Year's Eve? Stabby. New Year's Eve plans?
The movie or like actual New Year's Eve?
Like on New Year's Eve, do you do more than just the movie? Do you have any other plans, or is it just watch the movie?
Oh, no, we just watch the movie. We usually do what we call the kitchen counter charcuterie board. So we put parchment paper on the whole entire island, and we build like the world's largest charcuterie board with all the meats and the cheeses and the crackers and Hawaiian rolls and whatever. We have a puppy this year, so I don't think we'll be doing that as big as we usually do because he's still counter surfing. But we do the charcuterie. We usually we do mimosas at midnight instead of just champagne. We do mimosas at midnight, and then we just go to bed.
For those of you at home who don't know, charcuterie is just a fancy way of saying a lunchable for grown-ups.
Adult lunchable.
Yep.
Lunchable for grown-ups.
Yeah.
What about the rest of you? Terry, Charlie, Jana, any cool New Year's plans? Or, traditions, anything like that?
Sauerkraut. That's about it. Like, I always hated it when I was a kid because Mom would make sauerkraut. She'd put pork chops in it. She'd put hot dogs in it just for me. Because I was not a fan at the time. It's grown on me. I'll put sauerkraut on things with my own accord now. Not much, but a few things.
Sauerkraut.
I never could develop a taste for sauerkraut. My German ancestors are probably rolling in their grave.
Yeah, they're very disappointed in you.
I know. But I love bratwurst, so I mean, there's that.
Okay, that's...
And schnitzel is good, so...
Oh, yeah. Schnitzel's really good. I like
and I'm probably
I like
butchering it, but
sauerkraut
this, Grandma used to make this. It's like Apfelkuchel. It's like an apple pancake deal.
Yeah.
Almost like a crepe. Crepe?
Yeah.
Crepe. Yeah. I feel like I'm cussing every time I try to say a French word, but But yeah, so I get you. So is your family Germanic then, or they just like sauerkraut?
No, Dad just likes sauerkraut. If anything, Dad's life was Scottish.
Couldn't it be like haggis and like, I don't know, snuff?
Oof.
Snuff, yes. Haggis, no.
All right. So
with beer.
I have tried haggis. I don't recommend it. Not the greatest.
It's gross.
It's boring.
Snuff isn't great either. That's tobacco that you
I'm
snort
convinced most
away.
Scottish cuisine is based on a dare.
Yeah.
And desperation.
That's how they created golf. I mean, have you heard the Robin Williams bit where he talks about it? He nailed it.
That is my favorite. We're gonna take this effed up stick and we're gonna whack a ball. And you do it once. No, we do it 18 freaking times.
And every time you do it, you feel like you're having a stroke. That's what we're calling it.
His other favorite bit was when he was on a USO tour in Iraq, and he was not understanding at first what when taps was called, it was reveille. So everyone stood at attention and faced the flag, which meant they about faced him.
I thought we were under attack.
My joke isn't that bad. That's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, he was one of the recent celebrities that I actually shed real tears when he passed away because he was such a part of my childhood. He was awesome.
Yeah. And Patch Adams, I don't know, if you can't watch that and you don't cry just a little bit, you don't have a soul.
Right? Yeah.
That's
who I was compared to in high school. Like when people were like, "Hey, you look like this celebrity," and this is before Friends, and then it became Matthew Perry, but before that, it was Robin Williams. And then there's a picture of Robin Williams in his Letterman's jacket in high school. And I put it side by side with me, my senior year, in my Letterman's jacket, and people were like, "Oh my God, it's uncanny."
Wow.
Like, really?
Nice.
I saw that.
What did Robin Williams letter in? Since you're bringing it up, do you know?
I couldn't see on the letter what it was. It was probably. I'm going to guess football. Why not? Something you would not expect from Robin Williams. He was probably a linebacker or something.
Cool sport here. All right. The joke will be like it was like debate club or something.
Chess or like drama. Like if you can.
I lettered in theater. Yeah.
You can letter in theater?
I didn't know that. Well, my high school didn't offer that as a letter.
I was in Texas. You can get anything in Texas.
That's even more surprising.
We had to take a few arts classes for the requirements in high school. So I took impromptu, or what do you call it? Improv. And I got kicked out on the first day because apparently they didn't like the where my mind went to on the first association. And so they gave me an A if I just never darkened the doors again.
Oh,
So I went back to the ROTC room and hung out with them because they were like more normal, I guess. But whatever. They were clearly
wrestling.
I was
I
not
got the answer for you.
Yeah, I was
wrestled. Okay.
was clearly not cool enough for the theater kids.
That's
I was
scary.
a theater major for 1 year when I went to college, my freshman year, because I wanted to do something fun. Then I decided they were crazier than I was and moved sideways into Parks and Rec.
Okay, so I Googled it, you guys. I Googled it, and Robin Williams earned his Letterman jacket in high school for wrestling.
Oh, nice.
I wrestled in high school.
Nice.
In 1969 at Redwood High School in Larkspur, California.
There you
All
go.
right.
All right. So
Wrestling.
for us, we don't really wait for the ball. Like in theory, the family does, but I never cared enough to wait up for it. So if I'm awake, it's not because of that. It's because I'm just doing something, reading a book, watching a movie, whatever. But I never really got that big into, oh, great, a new year. Yay. So that's not really the holiday that I get that, bent out of shape over. So we don't really have any traditions related to that. We never really watched the ball drop. I know some people have tried to go there, but I've heard horror stories about how gross it is there, like, nasty porta potties and people crammed in like cattle cars and no, thank you. But if you've got traditions, dear listener, we'd love to hear about them. So tell us about it. And with that, so what did you guys like about season 5? What did you guys enjoy the most? Do you have favorite episodes?
They all kind of blurred together for me. Like, I don't remember what we did which year, so I'm really sorry because I had a great time all year. So what I know is that every single episode I got to be part of was really great. I like doing the retro movie reviews, frankly. I think that's really fun because we get a kind of a different group most of the time. They're not always the same regulars, and everybody has such interesting takes, and they bring trivia to the discussion, and we see what everybody's interests are, and it was I think it was especially fun to do the space camp review. That was this year, right? Okay.
Yes, that was this year.
And having people who'd grown up with it versus people who'd only just watched it, and that I thought that was a really good discussion. I had a great time with that.
Yeah, that was a really fun episode. And for me, 2025 was great because this was the first year that I was here joining you guys for more than just one episode. So it was a lot of fun. And I had a great time getting to know all you guys. This has been great. And I look forward to doing more in 2026.
Yeah.
So for me, I really like the Harry Turtledove episode, but I grew up reading his books. So for me, it was kind of like,
oh my God, I
read that book. Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily, Jana kept me from going too far afield. It's definitely interesting when you interview authors from that era that started writing back then, because a lot of them get really political, and I'm like, we don't want to do that here. We want to stay apolitical. I don't care if you vote for Mickey Mouse, the Red Baron, or whatever. Just we just want to get nerdy together. And the older ones that the pre-hippie era, like they just want everything to be politics, and so it's a weird combination. But Jana was able to keep him talking about the books, and we got lots of positive feedback. We got about that one and the Mercedes Lackey. We got lots of positive feedback from people across all of the political spectrum, like that agree or disagreed with her politics. We're like, you kept her only talking about the books. It was great. And so that was but the Harry Turtledove one, that was a lot of fun. And then we did an alt history one with the reimagining of World War I. It was a lot of fun. I'm trying to draw a blank. It was Casey Azell wrote it with two other people. I'm drawing a blank on the names now, but it was a reimagining of World War I from
Was that Romanov?
Yeah, the Romanov stuff. I really enjoyed that episode, mostly because I'm a history nerd. So I'm like, I know what they're talking about.
She wrote those with Tom Kratman and Justin Watson.
Yeah, and I had to edit that one because we went for almost 5 hours talking nerdy, but we did not air all 5 hours.
Whoa.
And finally, Justin's wife was like, yeah, you two, he needs to sleep. He has a day job. And maybe you two both should lay off the bourbon. And I'm like, okay, that's valid.
And we should not post a 5-hour podcast because our listeners will not keep up with that.
Yeah, well, we had fun though. So I mean, in our defense, we were left unsupervised.
I don't know. I've listened to some Joe Rogan podcasts that have gone for 5 hours.
Yeah,
As long as it's
that go on for very
entertaining
long.
and keeps me captivated, I'll listen. To it.
Some of it we went because we were comparing our experiences overseas, the difference between being a combat arms officer versus being a combat arms NCO. And I don't know that the audience was ready for some of those stories, but again, we were well lubricated.
The real work.
Yeah, so it was probably good that I edited those out.
Which is funny that I say that because I was an infantry officer and an infantry NCO during my time in, and I can tell you that being an NCO was the real work because I had to do something that some dumbass lieutenant came up with.
Yeah, I did enjoy the retro movie reviews, like getting to go back to The Fifth Element. Was a lot of fun. And I don't care how many times I watch that movie is just as good every single time.
I think that's probably my favorite segments that we do is the retro movie reviews.
Yeah.
Because we could go back and like rewatch movies that we had a certain frame of mind when we watched them and then rewatch them and see if they hold up. And then we talk about what held up and what probably didn't hold up. And
we got a lot of good feedback for our Believable Military panels. There were a bunch of them along those lines. But I don't want to just be the guy that only talks about military stuff because, like, I don't want that to be all my life was. And so while we do get good feedback, I'd like to do more. One of the most iconic episodes we did was my interview with Emily Tanner, who was the Australian author who wrote a harem lit novel. And we made the joke about the crisis actors because Australia isn't real by the Flat Earther Society. And that spawned 1,000 emails because they sent me lots and lots and lots of emails from the Flat Earthers about how I was disrespecting the science and stuff. And so I kept sending links to the merch that NASA sells that's like, it's round, we checked.
Oh my God, brought up the last unicorn.
Again, I hope this episode doesn't respawn the emails, but luckily I have a techie friend who helped me write a script into my Gmail. So now they automatically, if they have Flat Earth in it, it automatically goes to my spam folder. So I don't have to do anymore.
Yeah.
I know one of Nick's favorite, because we talked about coming back for the sequel now that it's out, but Nick had a lot of fun on that Megan movie review, that robot chick.
Oh, God, I love that movie.
And I don't like horror, but that was almost so psychological that it was more than that. So
you're absolutely right. I think it's more of a psychological thriller than it is technically a horror.
Which
and
is
the
very
second one was
different.
great, because the villain from the first one, very akin to James Cameron Terminator, like the villain from the first one becomes the hero in the second.
Okay.
One of the things I love about horror is that it's always changing, it's always evolving, and there's finding new ways to scare the crap out of us. And they're doing it in, like, they're keeping up with modern technology to make, like, there was a movie called Afraid, and it was about like how everybody, it was akin to like having a Siri or an Alexa in your house, but like it went off the rails. Those are one of the things I love about that. And you could find a horror movie, and this is, Stabby will probably back me up on this. There's a horror movie for every occasion. There's Mother's Day, there's graduation day, there's just like everything, so if there's a holiday, there's probably a horror movie made related to it.
Is there one for tax day?
Tax day is the horror.
I don't think you can make anything scarier than actual tax day.
I was just gonna say,
they gave that one a pass.
Yeah, tax day writes its own horror story.
Yeah.
Melissa, to answer your in-chat side question, we have not done Tron yet, but it is going on the list now. We all enjoyed The Last Starfighter when we did that movie.
That was fun. That was really fun.
There was another one that you really liked, one of our retros, if you want to cover that real quick.
Yeah, when we did the 20th anniversary of Serenity and we all got to celebrate how much we love Firefly. That was a lot of fun.
Old. Are you kidding me?
It's that old.
Am I wrong, JR?
No,
no.
A lot of fun.
It's that old.
One of the things I like is when we do the small press, we call them the small press radio hour, but when we highlight small presses so people know that there's more than just a big five out there, so we can kind of shout that out. But in that vein, we talked to the Book Cave group that are friends of Jana's. as a kind of an aggregator of all kinds of books, and for parents, like, because we've always, when we do the book reviews or we talk to authors, we say, hey, what would you rate it for parents that are listening? Is it appropriate for a kid? That's a whole website that does nothing but kind of grade them and how much cussing, how much language, so parents can sift through vetted material, which I thought was fun.
JR, because we didn't give the rating for tonight's episode, and tonight I'm just going to say that it's rated E for everyone.
There you go. Very nice.
But it was the Book Cave Reader, I think, is the name of the program, right, Jana? Is that right?
Well, there's some it's called Book Cave. Now I'm going to get it wrong. It's funny. I'll find it.
But it was just cool. I like the concept of empowering readers to find what fits within their value structure and their preference for their kids, because I have seen
book ratings. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But it's also preferences for readers, and it's not just, I'm only looking for things that are PG, but we want people that, hey, if you really like dark psychological with the gore and all that kind of thing, you can also select those. So it's all about matching the right readers with the right things. And I think we did a lot of that with media in general, because my kids' cousins will go, we want to watch such and such a movie. And I have to go, well, I know my kid and I know what she can take or not. And so it helps when you've got places that you can go and you can say, just what's the content? And then I can make that decision for myself or for my kid or whatever. So my book ratings, it does them for books, and like Common Sense Media is another really good resource for all sorts of stuff that's all media across the board, just so you know what it is you're getting into without being a judgment, but it's a information.
Yeah,
I like that, because my kid's just turned 13, and so he's on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram Reels, and he's exposed to all kinds of wonderful things. But it'd be nice to be able to sit down and watch a movie as a family and know what I'm going to have to explain afterwards. So
yeah. We got to talk about The Princess Bride, which is one of the most quoted movies in the household, so that was fun.
No kidding.
You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
You think you'll make it? Nah, it'll take a minute.
He's only half dead, which means he's mostly alive.
I liked our chat with David Weber, although he is a talker, and we spent hours in the pre and post show as well. Not that I didn't enjoy it. And finally, I was like, David, I'm having a lot of fun, but I've got to wake up in 4 hours.
Hey, you're keeping me up, bro.
But we talked with David Weber about his Star Kingdom series, which he's co-writing with a female whose name is escaping me because she was not on the show. So she's not in my prepped show notes. But that was a fun interview.
Shame this man.
I know. There's only like 684 episodes I have to sift through to keep it right in my head. My Swiss brain cheese, bullet rattled brain.
Yeah.
Jana had a good episode.
I had a good episode about what? I didn't do it.
No, you got to talk to your friend Melissa about your favorite series that she wrote.
Oh, I love it when I get to talk about
which one was that? Oh yeah, right. Tremontaine.
We talked about Tremontaine because Willie was one of my favorites.
I was on for a couple of different series. And that was really great. I mean, I didn't want to pimp my own stuff, but it is fun being on as an author guest as opposed to a panel guest. It's just, it's a different experience, and it's fun because you guys always ask interesting questions that make me remember things that I had forgotten about writing the books, and it's just a fun little visit for me. And so yeah, Jana got to talk to me about Tremontaine, and that was a lot of fun. That was a good series. It was,
I really enjoyed talking. This was a solo one just because I had to get up at 3 a.m. to record it because the guy was in China because he's teaching English abroad, and time zones are just a pain in the butt. Plus, he's in the mountains somewhere, so it was like the satellite was only in the right spot at like the. Weird. But we talked with the Sun Also Rises on Cthulhu by Jordan Kai, which was fun because it's taking some of those old properties that are now public domain and people are starting to use them in fun ways. And so I like talking about some of that. There's been some people that use the what's that one where they thought the world was being invaded and they put it on the radio and they had to tell people
the world.
Yeah, that's another one that is coming in. Like people are starting to use that now. Like
I I just saw a comic book that used the Universal monsters because they're all public domain now.
Oh, right.
They called it the Arcane Syndicate. It's a government agency that uses Frankenstein, the Mummy, the Invisible Man, Dracula, the Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Nick, write this down. We should really start talking about some of that, like the monsters and the properties that are open, because they can be fun to explore and to.
Oh, you want to do a public domain episode? I'm on it, dude.
Yeah. There's a site I saw that lists every year the new things that are coming into public domain. Yeah. And it's so interesting because you look at it and think, wow, is this really available now this time? And so it's always something new, and it's I would find that fascinating, doing something on
one of the things that I did
domain.
find when I first started getting into comics eons ago, because I'm old, was the Black Terror, which was like a pre-World War II superhero, kinda. Like, so it's along the same vein as like the Phantom and why can I can't remember that. There's the Phantom, he wore a fedora and a red scarf. What is his name?
Shadow.
The Shadow. Thank you. So he's of that, and he has a skull and crossbones and a cape, and he uses a saber like he's a pirate. And there's so many public domain things out there that are so awesome. And it's probably one of the few things that I've read in the last 10 years that really captivated my attention. I was like, man, they took this World War II era dude and made him relevant and made him cool, and they put him back into World War II, and it was just amazing. Like, every page was just like, the art was beautiful, it was well written. There's so many things that we can all do with this public domain stuff, and I would love to do a public domain episode, hashtag 2026.
Sounds good.
Which is right around the corner, dear listener.
Yeah, it's so close.
One of the cool episodes that I liked was Across the Ocean of Stars by Robert Hampson. He's an actual neurologist, and he made the science of zombies actually seem believable, which I just thought was fun. And then he set it in Hawaii, because why not? And that, of course, made his trips out there tax deductible, which is just genius. No, it's not a vacation with my wife. It's research.
That's right.
Speaker's great.
What can I say?
We love Speaker. He's awesome.
Speaker of lab animals, I think they call him. Yep. What about you, Terry? Did you have a favorite episode?
I've been sitting here thinking about that, and I don't think I did really. I'm kind of like Melissa, where a lot of them just kind of merge together because all the conversations are so fun. And half the time you have to remind me to say stuff because I'm just sitting here going, I
just can't remember what happened in which year, so that's how it blurs together for me. But yeah. I agree.
I do remember doing the Temple of Doom episode. That was fun.
Oh yeah. What I love about this show is that it's a clubhouse. It's a bunch of people with similar interests, and we get in here and we geek out. That's the best part of this show. And if you're not watching the show, you should definitely be watching this show or listening to the show, because it's just a bunch of people geeking out about things that they like. It's a clubhouse. It's like, hey, did you read this book? Did you read this comic? Did you watch this movie?
Yeah.
And we sit here and we talk about it ad nauseum, to the point where we have to be like, oh man, this is running over an hour, and our audience is going to get bored, and we have to like self-restrain, which is really hard to do because we're a bunch of hopped up teenagers on sugar talk about things that we love.
It's true. Well, and this year we released the Warhamster anthology, which started as a funny show.
Melissa. It's all her fault.
No, it's AI's fault because he couldn't properly
properly pronounce Warhamster,
which became really, really cool. And maybe in our kickoff to season 6 later, dear listener, we will give a hint as to anthologies that may be coming out in the future along those lines. But it was fun to do an anthology together and to see what people would come up with. I mean, that's the thing, is very often in media, in writing and that kind of stuff, people will say, oh, well, don't steal my ideas. But the truth is if you take an idea and you put it in front of a whole bunch of creatives and say, go, everybody goes in such different ways that there really is no way to say, oh yes, they're all going to end up the same. And that was part of the fun of that whole adventure, was to say, here is an idea. It's called Warhamster. Everybody go. and none of them were the same.
No, they're all different.
Can I also say it was fun to narrate all that? That was fun.
Bet. I was going to say Terry had a narration episode all to herself, where we talked about the wonders of being an audiobook narrator.
Yes.
And she might be coming out of the closet with her narration. She might get a proper self-built studio.
Wow.
That's
exciting.
That would be fantastic.
At least for now, though, I have to rearrange my blankets. They're starting to fall down on my head.
I discovered that my house really is terrible for narration. There's nowhere in this house that I can read and record. Nowhere. The house has marble floors and 10-foot high ceilings, and there are no closets. There's no very few electrical outlets. We have to carefully arrange where we do that. And I have been not professionally narrating. I've been reading aloud my books, my new series, to my daughter who is dyslexic. And so I'm recording those, and they're just, like me reading aloud to her. So they've got errors and stuff like that. But one day I had to read at my husband's office, and they have all these little rooms that I usually work in. And the sound quality was amazing. I could not believe how much better it was, because I knew it was bad here, but oh my gosh. So I hope you get a nice, your setup sounds really great as it is. So
yay.
Yeah.
Yeah, closet and a lot of moving blankets.
Yeah.
I'll still catch echoes now and then in my editing, though. It's like, God damn it, well, I can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
The clicks I can fix. The echo.
Yeah.
That I just hope everyone's listening in their car and they don't notice.
Yes.
The other one that was fun this year was when we talked about myths and legends and like incorporating those in stories. That was this year. And we also talked high fantasy because Flying High with High Fantasy, I think was how we titled it, which is also fun because digging into some of the larger themes is a lot of fun. Unfortunately, those type of episodes, it's like we need 5, 10, 100 hours to do this, and we're trying to do it in one. And so that's always who do you get, because those willing to come on the show might not always be the most well read in the genre, and those that are either the most qualified to talk generally are too busy writing their own stuff or charge you exorbitant fees.
I remember we did the young adult one.
The young adult was this year too.
Yeah, the young adult one, that was fun. And I was just thinking, because you were saying, needing so many hours, and I was thinking, well, there were a couple where we did it and we got to the end and we're like, okay, we've got ideas for 3 more episodes based on this topic that we just couldn't cover. And the young adult one was one of those. And that was a lot of fun.
That was one of them. Cozy fiction was another. And that's not what I would read on my own, but the discussion of it was kind of fascinating. It was almost kind of like the slice of life that you see in other genres. So it was fun to dive into like comfort reads, I guess. It's like a warm glass of milk for the mind.
I liked that one because we had disagreements, like differences of opinion, and I think that made it more interesting even than usual, because we weren't all just going, "Oh yeah, I agree with you." And that I like when we do that, when we have different perspectives and we can hear what the other people have to say and go, "Okay, maybe I still don't really agree with you, but I can see where you're coming from and I can appreciate that point of view." So I like that.
I also like the interview we did with the other podcast of other indie authors. It's called Feral Ladies, and we called it Feral Magic.
Those guys are such a kid.
We wanted to play on feral for the title, so we talked about like wild magic or feral magic, which was kind of fun because I get so many ideas. Like we've got so many written down we could go back to, but they're busy and have day jobs and lives and kids, so scheduling is an issue.
Yada yada yada. It's always fun when we get true experts on too. Like this year we had the medical experts who helped us talk about, futuristic technology when it comes to medicine, what's realistic when we start thinking about all of these things. And they were fascinating. It's like, you guys know more about this stuff than I could learn in a million years. And it's just very, very cool, and have that level of expertise and then apply it to nerdy stuff. I love it when we do those episodes where we get in, real experts who go, and this is how it would really work, or here's things we're actually working on that you didn't know. It's like, Yay, that's cool.
All right, now for this next one, Charlie, I need you to go earmuffs for us. I really enjoyed talking about the Fey Wars that Charlie wrote, because one, Sasquatch, and two, alien invaders, but they're not aliens, they're Fey. That was a fun episode because the universe sounds fun. Okay, you can listen now. We didn't want you to get a big head.
He was just complimenting you.
Yeah.
And it had Annie
just liked
Oakley
to
in
listen.
it. Plus Annie Oakley, right? You can't go wrong there.
And Annie Oakley is awesome.
Oh, that I heard. Annie Oakley, yeah. She's my hero. I love her.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
So, I mean, there are worse role models, I suppose. So that was a fun one. I enjoyed that one. We talked to Charles Gannon about his Kane Riordan universe. That man, like David Weber, is a well-read individual, so he has a font of ideas. And so that was another long episode, but I had fun.
And DJ Butler's both
he's
of
another
their
one.
episodes were very long, but very interesting.
The Time Trials episode he did. He co-wrote that with M.A. Rothman.
Yeah, and we had both of them on, and that was talk about putting two fascinating people in a room, and then you just sit back and let them talk to each other. It's like, yep, my job here is done. Go.
So the problem is though, I'm a history nerd, so any topic that's around that, I'm almost afraid to go solo because I need someone to keep me on the rails.
That's true. And that happened a couple of times, even with you. And the nice thing is that we get both the very, very new media creators and then our legacy folks. But yeah, you had a couple where it was like, oh, this is a new person. I don't know what we're going to think here. We'll have to come up with lots of questions. And then it's like, oh, and it's a portal fantasy that takes us where? And you were just gone. And I'm like, I'm going to sit back and occasionally tell you to, reel it in because you guys
look, okay, like I
it was Hannibal and he was gone.
And she wrote a book set in my childhood. It is not my fault. It's her fault.
Because all doubts were erased as soon as he realized what the book was actually about. Then it was just
most of the time it sounds like I know what I'm talking about because we have Google open and we're kind of keep the conversation going. I didn't have to Google any of that crap. I've been reading that since I was like 10. So so we did an episode that Melissa recommended when we talked Calvin and Hobbes this year.
No, that was Jana's idea.
I thought it was yours.
Was it mine?
No, it was mine.
It was Jana's. My idea was Space Camp.
Yeah,
okay.
This was Space Camp. I went through all of the so this is a place that I pick up ideas for the podcast. Is I look at other big events like FanX, Comic-Con, that kind of stuff, and I go through the list of all the panels that they're doing because those give us really good ideas. So that's where we picked up Calvin and Hobbes. That's where we picked up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, things like that, because they were saying, "Oh, it's the anniversary of this, and the anniversary of that," and it's like, if we haven't done these properties, we should do them all. So, but Calvin and Hobbes is always worth talking about.
Yeah.
One of the episodes that I also enjoyed, which is not something I normally, mostly I was a sci-fi guy until recently, but Jesse James Fain, one of our regular guests and friend of the show, recommended shotgun sorcery as a topic. I may be out of spells, but I'm not out of shells joke meme about what would happen if Harry Potter was set in Texas.
That was so fun.
We had a panel about that. It was interesting. I kind of want to revisit it. I think there's more meat on that bone. But scheduling is a thing. And he lives up in a mountain with no cell reception, so it's hard to get him. And then I don't think he has any lights in his home because he always looks like it's just a floating head.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we might want to crowdsource some lights for him. That might be something we have to do.
Mm-hmm.
I did enjoy the anthology episodes. We've talked about 2 of Jana's anthologies, but I'm a sucker for short content. So in addition to the Warhamster anthology episode, we did Ashes. Was it
Ashes and Embers? And we did Stone and Sky. I think we did Talons and Tales too. I think we've done 3 of mine. And then we did Jesse. Speaking of Jesse, we did his and did the Biological Bedlam, which was a great deal of fun. That was just here at the end of the year. So yeah, we've been able to dabble a bit. The anthologies are fun because we're able to get a bunch of different creators together and have them all say, why was it that I went this direction about this thing? I like those a lot. I'd love to see us do some more anthologies that way.
It's just been different. So the problem with the anthologies is it's more herding of cats. You got to get more people, and sometimes that's difficult. And a lot of times, so one of the things we're running into is most of the authors we reach out to, we're using Messenger. Most authors don't want to have Facebook up because they want to write. They don't want the distraction. So they had the Messenger app on their computer. Well, Facebook is getting rid of it. So most people, you're not as easy to get rid of them. So you might reach out to them on Messenger now because they have to be logged in. They might not see it for a month because they're not going into Facebook. They're just wanting to use the Messenger. And so I'm having to find alternate ways to communicate efficiently. And I can't afford another social media. So I'm not like starting a Blue Sky account, and I'm not even sure that's efficient either. Because that seems to be everyone shouting into the void and not necessarily talking to each other.
Yeah.
But we also did the necromancy panel, which is fun because the meme that sent to us after the Warhamster panel was necro hamster meme.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to figure out a catchy title for that as the next one. And because it's sort of targeted to the Jana and Melissa's people more than the vet bros that Nick and I attract, we will keep the volume or the language
we will keep the content around more PG-13-ish because that's a wider audience for us and a more
I'm not
and a
saying
wider
I
audience
cuss a lot,
for our
but I
writers.
lost 1,000 words when we edited out my cuss words.
But I love my vet bros. What?
Right?
Yeah.
But I write visceral and
I'm married
gritty,
one.
and I don't write the cozy and the comfortable, and it was more of the target audience, and the memo just didn't reach everyone. So Nathan and
write
Jesse
about
and
killer elves.
right? Nathan and Jesse and I got the message for the Warhamster, like, we need to edit out your cuss words so our readers will read it. I'm like, oh crap.
Poppycock.
Not all of them. You could have a few, but it's understanding our target audience. So we have to work on that.
And then we had to send the updated file to Terry so she narrated the right one because we don't want to make it look twice.
Because I will say those words without a problem.
Seamlessly. Like, not even a catch.
She'll put some sass in her voice when she says it too.
Yeah. You better effing believe it.
So are you going to be narrating your own stuff?
Eventually, when it gets published.
Is that not out yet? I thought you were coming out with it in December.
It's with you are JR. It's with Three Ravens, and Hillbilly's been a little bit overwhelmed with going back to work, and I haven't had the cojones to give him a kick in the teeth about it.
Okay. That's fair. The another episode, I don't know, like normally we do Spooktober for Stabby. That's her thing. But we talked with a friend of the Jana's, Julie Barnson, whose husband writes a lot of steampunk. And it's the reason we published the steampunk anthology. And she talked about doing like ghost tours and not so much scary movies or scary books, but in-person readings of sort of scary content.
Yeah, storytelling.
There we go.
So not just readings, because there's a difference between just reading and storytelling. But yeah, she talked about being a professional storyteller and doing the spooky stuff. And then Jay came on and talked about some of his books too. So, and they did a co-episode on their Yuletide book. So we got a lot of episodes out of them. It's nice when you can get a duo.
Well, I was a docent in college, which just means I was an unpaid intern as a history major, giving lots of tours of historic sites. And so, like, I get the concept of telling history to people about various, but there's a difference between telling cold hard facts and making them enjoy the experience. Because if they're not already interested in the history, like, adding details to make it fun can sometimes get you in trouble. And sometimes if you add extraneous details that might or might not be true, your professors get mad at you because they believe you, because the tendency to believe you if you put on the aura of I'm an expert, they just hit I believe. So the building I was giving a tour of had a life-size statue of Genghis Khan, and he was not very tall, by the way. And I had them convinced that it has been there since the building was built in the 1700s.
Dear.
Oops, they believed it. No, the wax statue was not built in 1700s, by the way.
Okay.
Just for the record. So, and I know we are at an hour mark, but we are having fun. Dang it. So, anybody else had any favorite episodes?
I was just saying, man, like you want to try and keep it under an hour, I'm trying to hold you to that. Like,
Yes,
I'll
sir.
talk all night. I don't give
Yes. Thank you. Oh, that's right. We did Jurassic Park, and that resulted in me rereading the book and the comparison between the two, and that was a really fun one. Just talking about because I never really think about, I don't know. I feel like my enjoyment of Michael Crichton's stuff is sort of happening in a vacuum because nobody I personally know is a huge fan. And so it was really great to be on the panel talking to other people who loved the movie and loved the books. And that was it. So personally, I just really enjoyed that. And I think it was a good episode.
The book is so much darker.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It's like, oh my Lord. Like if they made that movie, that's not sci-fi. That's straight up horror.
Yeah, it is horror. I was talking to a friend who's like, yeah, I think of Michael Crichton as horror. And I said, really? Because that's not really how I think of it. And she said, well, but here's this and this and this. And I'm like, yeah, that's horror. That did not occur to me. But yeah, Jurassic Park really is straight up horror. It's
you got a lot of
really good.
Michael Crichton stuff is like borderline horror and sci-fi fic. I mean, you have the Andromeda Strain, you have Jurassic Park, like
I'll put
you
that
can go
on
either way with both those franchises.
One of the fun episodes that we pre-recorded, waiting for episode 666, but we did the Demons and Devils Oh My episode. That was a lot of fun. It was really difficult because Jana and Nick and I had this conversation. Stabby was sick, so she wasn't in on it. But on the one hand, it's Devils and Demons and such as like episode 666. It's such perfect. But on the other, like we didn't want to go so dark we alienated people because we realized we have lots of families that listen to with certain religious convictions, and I didn't want to insult them because I respect people with their convictions.
Okay, I want to know what families are listening to us.
I can give you names.
I really do. I really want to know what people are huddled around the computer like it's 1939.
Well, I mean, it's not a fireside chat. They're not around a computer, Nick.
That's listening to us.
They're watching it on their TV screen because they've got the little fire sticks.
Why would you do that? I'm a host on the show. I wouldn't do that.
Or listening in the car, because I kick on podcasts when I'm driving around, and there are times I have to skip our particular podcast because I have a child in the back, and so it's
for my 45-minute commute, and then I hear my voice. I'm like, why do I listen to myself? This is not good.
Another fun one we did was that Bane hooked us up with the Pendragon Cycle by Stephen Lawhead.
Stephen Lawhead, he's amazing.
Daily Wire is now turned into a miniseries.
Yeah,
but that was a lot of fun one, and we got lots of good feedback. I didn't know who he was until they recommended it, and everyone was like, "No, you've got to read his books; they're awesome." And so we've got lots of people sending me letters, not like the flat earthers; they're more like, get off your butt and read it already letters, which is always fun because they're passionate fans, and I can respect that. And of course, the holiday episodes are fun. So we had friend of Jana's come on Holiday Hijinks with Lynn Worthen, I think.
Lynn Worthen?
Yeah, where they're like...
I missed that one.
Well, she was just talking about her anthologies, which are like kind of cute and friendly. So it was just her.
They are the most adorable thing ever.
I had a story in one of the anthologies.
They're really good.
I don't know that I have one of those stories in me if I try. You could put a gun to my head and tell me to write that. I don't think I could. My brain does not work that way.
True.
So, but it was fun to see other people like that could take concepts and just be like unironically wholesome with it. I don't have that in me, but it was interesting to see other people. So that was fun. And we speaking of the holiday one that you talked about, Jana, was Holiday Yuletide, but by Immortal Books, which was horror holiday. Immortal. Yeah, it's holiday. Yeah.
Holiday horror stories. Yep.
Yeah, we talked about the role of horror in Christmas settings, which was an interesting one, which Stabby was actually there for this time. She had lots of fun.
Yay!
So, and apparently I don't watch enough horror because that was her feedback after the show.
I can fix that.
She said, JR, I can give you lists. I have subscriptions to this program and this program and this program. There are lots. I'm like, chill.
All I'm saying is, like, okay, so we all know that Stabby is the spooky one of the bunch, but I mean, I enjoyed when we did the Princess Bride show. That was fun. I love that book and that movie. They're both great. But like the horror stuff, it's just my jam. And putting it in a Christmas setting is just, it makes it that much spookier, I think. Because, like, when it's Halloween time and you're watching spooky movies, like, you expect to see the spooky movies, you expect to see the scary. But when it's Christmas time and you're watching a spooky movie, it's definitely a bit more off-putting because you expect Santa and the elves and everybody to be nice and sweet and, you know, eat the cookies and leave the presents. And when it's not that, I think we
bring in Krampus.
And then there's Krampus. But like when it's not that pure Christmas joy, it definitely is just, I don't know. I think it makes it even spookier.
And for those that want to know, we did Krampus as a movie review last year. There is a folder for Christmas movies as a separate on, like, it's not on the audio only podcast. It's not on BitChute or Rumble, but YouTube does have a feature where I can do subfolders. So we have one that's just season 5, one that's just season 4, etc. But I do one for Spooktober and I do one for Christmas. I have in there, and I do one for the Small Press Radio Hour. So we do set those aside if you want to check out last year's holiday ones as well. And we did a review of Krampus last year, so you can watch us discuss it.
Cool. That was fun. That was a fun show.
That was a fun show. And we did the Santa Claus this year. That one was fun too.
Mm-hmm.
So the Christmas episodes this year, we intentionally did this, but we mixed for everyone that fit the darker or the violent. Like we did the holiday horror, we did a Violent Night movie review, which was, I loved it, but I realized it's not for everyone. It is rated R for a reason. I'm just saying Viking Santa with Skull Crusher the Axe is just my jam. Awesome. Not so much for Jana or families. So you know, just been warned. But we also did Polar Express and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the 1964 version, the only one that exists in my book, and the Santa Claus. So like we mixed it up.
I found a horror version.
Of which one? Nick, you're muted. You said something. I only picked you up through through Stabby.
Okay, so I found a horror version of not only Bambi, if you can believe that, because it's public domain. But I found.
Is it a vegan horror flick? Like, is that why it's a horror? It's vegan. They don't get to. No.
Well, it's kind of. Vegan.
Wait, do vegans write letters too? Maybe I should just shut up.
They don't have the energy to write letters because there's no protein.
They can't,
that's
but
right.
they can type. They can type on their iPhone. So just saying.
Maybe it's a voice to chat thing.
Anyway, Nick, so they have Bambi horror, but what else?
They also have a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
I have seen a spoof of it. Like I think College Humor did one where the deer were hunting the hunters this time, and so it's a picture of the deer driving with the humans draped over the hood.
Oh,
it's hilarious.
It's like it's on the same vein as like Pooh, Blood and Honey, and Steamboat Willie. Like they take these iconic, the mean one. They made Grinch, which is already kind of a scary character, depending on when you were introduced to him, and made it a horror movie. And they're insanely entertaining because it takes like that deep rooted childhood trauma that when you first watch these things, if you watch them at a certain age, and just expands on that. It's just like, oh my Lord, I can't believe what I'm watching. You know, in a fun way. So
Terry, you've been really silent because you know you do a lot of listening when you come on this show. You're not a talker like I am, so I'm gonna make you talk right now.
No.
Did you have any favorite episodes, even if you're not quite sure if it was season 5? We'll give you a pass, just because we want to hear what you think.
Sorry.
I'm gonna stick with Temple of Doom because that is the one that is sticking in my brain. Like
that
with all the
was
things
season
we talked
5.
about. Huh?
That is season 5.
Yeah.
Kalima.
I don't know why that one's just sticking in my brain tonight. Like I remember some of these other ones as we've been talking about them.
Fun episode, that's why.
Yes.
So one of the ones I have you on the list for next year. We did a 80s cartoon episode where we went nostalgia with it. We've got to do the 90s cartoons next. And I know you had mentioned when you saw the first one in season 4 that you wanted to come on the next one. So I have that written down for season 6 and you were on the list.
All right.
Nice.
So All right. Charlie is probably away feeding her horse or something. So, Melissa, any closing thoughts or about favorite episodes?
Just as a, I mean, I've already said everything I've been on has been great. And I guess I've talked about the ones that were my favorites. So in general, I just really like how this podcast works together. You get all these great different voices and all these different opinions, and people have things they love and they talk about what they love. And I think it makes it really interesting for not just the people participating, but I hope for everybody listening and watching. I hope that excitement comes through. And there's been a lot of times where we've had an episode and I come to the end of it and think, I need to go look into this more. I need to go do this. Like talking about Christmas episodes. I have the graphic novels of Klaus by, I think it's Grant Morrison, and I haven't read those yet, but I'm like, okay, I should really read that. Maybe now, maybe not wait for next Christmas, but read them now. And so I just get excited, and that's how I feel about being on the podcast. And it's been a great season 5.
What about you, Charlie? Now that you're done feeding the horse.
Sorry, horse got fed earlier. I had to deal with dog mess, so apologies.
That doesn't sound as cool as feeding a horse, but we'll allow it.
I don't want to lie to your viewers. I respect them too much for that. But anyway, no, this has been a whole lot of fun. I mean, like Melissa said, the few times that I was able to be on panels talking about movies and military commanders and fiction and all the other fun things that we've talked about, it's great to get to know my fellow geeks and my fellow nerds and bounce ideas off of each other. And the opportunities to come on and promote my own work has been fantastic as well. And I love that this podcast is a little bit of everything. It's like a big, happy, dysfunctional family. And sometimes we all get to talk together and sometimes we just talk one-on-one. But every time I'm on, it's a fantastic time. And I thank you guys for doing this and letting me be part of it.
Luckily, next year, we'll get into a little more. Nick's schedule should allow him to come on more again.
Yay!
Things are calming down for him.
I mean, let's hope,
Fingers crossed, knock on wood and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We will burn some sage or incense or whatever it is you're supposed to do.
Well, you know me, man. Like, if it's a topic I can't wait to talk about with this group of people that we bring in, I'll bang in. I'll call in sick. I don't care.
There was like the Violent Night when you were supposed to be there, but like fate didn't like you that night. So life happens. I get it.
Oh, we're going there. We're going there where you didn't send me the invite. And I told you I was going to be there, and you didn't send me the invite. We're going to go there.
You did that one up there.
That was right about the time my entire system crashed, and I was trying to add everything back.
I still haven't added everything back. Tool. You cocked it up.
I can't text you those links. I don't do well on an Android. I need to get an Apple, but I'm cheap.
Those links because I have a Mac, and that's how those work.
My phone is an Android, and those are substandard.
Safari open something up.
Wait, okay, now I'm going to get hang up.
Yeah, cool.
I said it. You know what, Nick? I said it. My phone is an Android. It's substandard, and it doesn't work that efficiently, all right?
Do you two need couple counseling?
I'm buying you a MacBook.
Mom and Dad are fighting. Stop it.
I'm buying you a MacBook.
I'm so scared.
All right,
so doesn't happen anymore.
So for everybody that doesn't know, this is my daily life with these two.
Well, see,
and you're lucky to have it.
I'm throwing it out there. This is how they are all day long. I swear.
Stabby, he cheats. He's like, yeah, remember that MSR? I saved your life. Shut up. Totally unfair.
I did save your life.
See?
It's the blue cord of brotherhood. It's a beautiful thing.
It's
I mean, granted, I also put it in danger, but we're going to let that go.
Okay, so here's the funnest part of it all is while they're over there fighting, I'm JR's mom's favorite.
Everybody but me is my mother's favorite. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
He sends me emails with like, this is what you guys are getting paid for this stuff. Hey, Nick, you're my... don't think she
All right,
means
so
it, though. I think
as
she's
we
just
bring
saying
this
that.
to a close, dear listener, we would love for you, in anywhere that it allows on various platforms, to share your thoughts about what your favorite episode was, what you want to see more of, and we hope you stick around with us for season 6. We do not take your patronage for granted, and we enjoy each and every one of you brave souls who suffer through our insanity with us. And if you need counseling after listening to us, we understand, but we will not foot the bill because we're poor. You don't buy enough of our books.
That's fair. I can
help pay for
send
your
you to a good
counseling.
therapist that's cheap.
Yeah. But all right. So as we wrap this up, this is the part, dear listener, where I remind you to please be kind and speak your mind on the reviewing platforms. Your reviews help the right readers find the right books, and that really does matter. And if you want help finding the right books, the Book Reader Cave. Am I getting it right, Jana?
My book ratings. Book Cave.
There you go. Watch that episode. You can learn all about it. It's a great thing. That's a throwback right there. That's what we call it in the biz. We call it a throwback. And if it's not, I just made it up. I'm cool with that too. But yeah, so leave book reviews. It really doesn't matter. And if you like an audiobook, review the narrator too. When you write the little review, don't just give a star. Right? This is the coolest narrator ever. Terry K. Job is my favorite narrator. Write that, even if it's not her book.
And tell me whose voice you like most.
Even if she didn't narrate the book, she's still your favorite narrator.
So in season 6, me and Terry are going to have a voice off. It's going to be awesome.
Yes. We actually talked about that as an episode, jokingly getting anybody that we knew that could do accents and just have them like speak goofy, flippant accents the whole episode. I don't know if that bit is sustainable for an hour, but it could be fun to try.
Books
that'd be fun.
In our craziest voices.
Oh yes, that's a totally thing.
Peter.
All right, so as we wrap this up, we did mention we weren't listing any sponsors because the guests' books are awesome and you should check them out. So, Melissa, which is your favorite book and which do you want to pimp out to us today?
Well, I love all my babies. So what I'm pimping out today is War Master, because it is getting close to the end. Book 9 was just released mid-December, and book 10 is the final book. So I am pimping book 1 of War Master, Dungeon Spiteful. And it is a lit RPG fantasy adventure about a girl whose class is worthless and the isekai guy who becomes her partner. And that's the one.
On that series. I'm only on book 3.
So first off, it's a good one. I will warn you that if you were on a diet, maybe wait till after lunch or whatever your meal is to read it.
Eat when you're full. Or read when you're full. Yeah,
read when you're full. If you want to know some thoughts, I did write a detailed review. It's like 4,000 words. I write long reviews, but over.
It was a fantastic review. Yeah,
I write reviews for Upstream Reviews on Substack. If you want to check that out, it's a great place to get other people's thoughts on various books. So I'll leave that in the show notes as well. But I really enjoyed it. It's a good series. You should check it out too. I read that with the youngest. He enjoys it as well. Although he wants to know when he can get sucked into a book, and I'm like, well, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah,
you talk to some people, you make some deals.
I might know a guy who knows a guy.
Yeah.
That's like a secret power in the military, and I really ought to write that into a book if I ever write a more military theme than I've done, like lit RPG. Like that should be a superpower. Like I know a guy who knows a guy, because that's said by every sergeant ever. I know a guy who knows a guy.
The E4 Mafia.
And even if you don't, it's your excuse to explain where you got stuff that you liberated. Oh, I just know a guy. It fell off the back of a truck for you.
I know a dude who talks to a dude in another unit. It happens.
All right, Charlie. What about you? What's your books are you going to pimp for us tonight?
Oh, well, like Melissa said, I love all of them. So I think I'm going to promote my most recent release, which is my story in the anthology Running with Sharp Objects from Chris Kennedy Publishing. My story is called The Blunt Edge. Celia Blunt was adopted by aliens because her planet was being destroyed. And 15 years later, she's starting to realize that maybe the benevolent aliens aren't so benevolent after all. And she needs to figure out how far is she willing to go to find out the truth about her past. So check it out. It's on Amazon.
All right. I will check that one out as well. What about you, Terry? What are you pimping?
So I'm going to pimp the most recent anthology that I ended up in, which just happens to be War Hamster. I took a little bit more of a literal tack. On the hamster thing, anyone who has ever read the Redwall books, you will see nods in that direction. But yeah, there's hamsters with battle axes, and it's just awesome. I think it was fun. It was fun to write.
I've already sent Jana did the cover for that anthology, and I've already sent her the meme that has people wanting us to write a sequel. So she has it in her noggin to toy with ideas to help me come up with an anthology theme and name so we could do a sequel. The first one was not an open call; it was insular to the podcast regulars. But we had such positive feedback. We had people who don't even write say, "I'd write one for that just because it sounded fun." So we'll make that one an open call that's just open. Because it was so fun. And we might even volunteer Melissa into helping us read some of the open call submissions just to
I would be happy to help. Yeah.
Because that was a fun one. And it was her fault, really, that this happened. It's not my fault. I didn't mispronounce it. She just wrote something too similar.
I will take the blame.
Never JR's fault.
Yeah,
never my fault. No. Unless there's money or beer involved, and then I'll take credit. So, all right, Jana.
T-shirt.
Jana.
Oh, so I decided for pimping stuff that it would be fun to go back to the beginning because, like Melissa says, all of my books are my favorite. But I'm going to pimp Desert Rains, which is under one of my other pen names, but it is science fiction. It is a science fiction romance. And it happens on a far distant planet, and it's Firefly with more kissing.
Mm-hmm. Science fiction Western romance.
Science fiction Western romance, and it's my one book that has the guy that lost part of his shirt on the cover. I did keep a shirt on him, but it is nicely cut, and we get to.
I love that cover. That cover's great.
Cover. It's a beautiful cover, and it speaks right to genre, and I love it a lot. So, and that was the first book that I ever independently published. I was in a lot of stuff before that with various anthologies, and I worked at a magazine and whatever. But that was the first novel that I independently published. Was my science fiction Western romance. So we will pimp that one. So Desert Rains, all about, and there's even a cow birthing scene in it. So, not many people can make that sexy, but I managed.
That is one you wrote as Jade Asher, right?
Jadelyn Asher. Yep.
Yeah.
That's one of those pen names we don't talk about. I know you do, but I don't have enough time. So.
Yeah, no.
All right, so Melissa, you had a sale of that we're calling Empty Jana's Basement, so you can fill it again.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Are you still running that? What's going on with that one? Is that going to run into the new year for people's holiday gift cards, etc.?
Yes. Let's see. I think the sale is running through the end of the year. It's my web store, nightharborpress.com, and it's got all my books. You can buy ebooks, you can buy print books, you can buy some audiobooks. And it's got gift boxes. I mean, it's after Christmas, but people have birthdays, and the gift boxes are a copy of the book and an ebook, and then some goodies to go with it. And those are still on sale through the end of the year.
So as you listen to this today, you have till the close of business, so don't dawdle.
Yeah.
Yes, right, get over there, buy her books, get them out of my basement, and then we'll refill the basement again with more cool books. Because I have insight into what's up and coming, and it's really, really cool.
Yeah, got a new series we're launching at the beginning of the year.
Do you need, for your basement sale, do you need any special discount code or just a link?
The discount code is holiday 25. I think it's 25.
Yes.
Yes, is that right? Is that what I told you? It was because I couldn't remember if I put 2025. Yeah, it's holiday 25.
It's holiday 25. That's what you told me. So if that one
that's correct.
Work, I don't know about
that's the correct one. Yeah. So holiday 25, you get a discount of 15% off the already discounted sale price, and that's off everything in the store.
All right. So Melissa's basement sale will be linked in there as well. Or I guess we should technically call it Jana's basement sale, but then you wouldn't know whose books you're buying, so I don't want to confuse you.
That's right.
Melissa's basement sale. We'll call it that. We'll stick with that.
All right, perfect. Nick, he ran away. I was going to ask him which one of his comics he's going to be pimping, because I know he's got a new one that just came out.
It's Phantom Hawk Resolute. We just got the first set of the copies in. It's so beautiful, guys, and the paper is nice. Like
Is that
we
on
all know I
sale?
have textural issues.
Is that on sale right now?
So the first set that we just received is for the people that donated to the Kickstarter. The next set, which is already on its way, will be going onto the website very soon. And we also have Quick Wire as well coming out onto the website soon, as well as some t-shirts. So all good things on the Apogee website will be there soon. I was pimping for you, honey. Sorry.
All right, so I'm just going to tell you to support Apogee Comics, and you can peruse around the website, and I will just link to Apogee. Although, if you're ever curious, our link tree does link to Apogee Comics, and as this is the last
just to elaborate, Stabby, you did an awesome job pimping our stuff. By the time this episode airs, yes, that comic book will be available for purchase on the website, and we are like 90% done with issue 2, and that'll be due around February or March. You guys will be able to purchase that. We're not going to do a Kickstarter of that. It's going to be a direct sale just on the website. So, and we got some other crazy stuff happening in Apogee, and if you go to the website and you subscribe to it, you can get our newsletter, which is going to tell you about all the crazy shenanigans that we're doing. Not only the podcast, but the books that we're doing and other ways to just finance our shenanigans.
So if you want to check it out, our link tree, which we mention every episode, does link to Apogee as well, because he's one of the hosts. And by the time this episode airs, Jana will be linked there as well. And so she can no longer complain that we're not linked to her. So
we'll see.
She will find something else to complain about, because this is just the way of things.
Probably my lack of absence on the episodes because work sucks.
But she said that fudge, so I can't complain too much because fudge.
Yeah, same. Like around this time of the year, my A1C just skyrockets, and I have to tell my doctor it's blamed.
So every time we disagree with her, Jana's like, "But I sent you fudge," and it's like, "Yeah." Okay.
There's not enough metformin, but I'm still gonna I don't care. Like, put me in a coma.
Do you want to stay on my Christmas list or not? I'm like Santa Claus there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
As we bring this to a close, Terry, tell us what you're working on as we round out the year, and then how we can stalk you. I mean, follow you on the internet.
So I, after changing jobs and trying to get over the stress of the last one, I'm finally starting to start editing again. So I'm editing the second book of the series I've been working on. So we'll see how that goes. As for trying to find me, I'm usually sometimes on the Book of Faces when I'm not hiding under a rock. You can also visit my Amazon page, Terry K. Job.
You know, the funny part about that is because you live under the shadow of the Colorado mountains, you literally are hiding under a rock.
Yeah, pretty much.
Very big rock.
Very big rock.
Very big rocks. Granite ones.
All right, Charlie, what are we writing now? Are we writing like Fey War 12 already? And how can we stalk you? I mean, follow you.
Fey Wars 12, no, but speaking of mountains, i.e. giant rocks, the sequel to Fey Wars Northwest Front is super close to being done, and a majority of the action on that one is going to take place on Mount Rainier in Washington State, so FYI. And then in January, I have a handful of smaller projects that I'm working on. So lots of fun, exciting things to come. I'm very excited. And if you want to find out all about what I'm doing and when I have new stuff coming out, you should go to my website, charliecox.net, sign up for my newsletter. I send releases or information out once a month. I don't spam you. If I have some exciting news, then I might send you something twice a month, but it's never going to be daily, I promise. I'm also on Substack. You can find me on all of the socials and is on Amazon as well. So come find me.
All right, Melissa, where might we find you, and what novel are you writing now? It's probably like an unpublished series and the 20th book in it because you're just that far ahead.
Not quite. 4th book. Okay, you can find me on Facebook, and you can find me on my website, melissamcshane-writes.com. As I mentioned, I have a storefront, nightharborpress.com, and I have a Discord server, but it's kind of not happening right now. And let's see. Those are the major ones. I'm on Goodreads, but that's really more of a personal. I review the random stuff I read. So there's that.
Okay. And Jana, as we round this out.
Yep, you can find me over at Linktree, linktr.ee/Opal Kingdom Press, or you can go straight to the press at opalkingdompress.com, and that is where me and my multiple personalities hang out at for the most frequently. As I have begun saying, I am the loser at internet hide and go seek. I do not try very hard, much to my son's disgust sometimes. The poor kid, he's like, you really should have more security. I'm like, I'm an author. I want people to find me. So I am the loser at internet hide and go seek. You can find these two pen names and a few others all over the internet. If you find them and they're related to publishing, it is me 99.987% of the time. That other 0.003, I have no idea who that is. Just go with it. And so I'm easy to find. And what I'm working on, oh goodness, what all am I working on? To be honest, since it's at the end of the year and there have been 2 weddings in the family, I am just working on finding my kitchen under the layers of sugar. But JR and I are working on the reboot series. We are closing in on the end of book 1, and hopefully we'll be charging on from there and start to get those put out next year. I am visiting an old urban fantasy series of mine that I have done a whole lot of short stories for, and I'm starting to get the novels shaped up so that those can go out, and then we'll see what else this year holds.
All right. This is the part. Well, I already told you to please find and review books. So you can find us, dear listener, on our Linktree, linktr.ee, Linktree/Blasters and Blaze Podcast. Again, Linktree/Blasters and Blaze Podcast, where we link to all the things: the BitChute, the Rumble, the YouTube, the TikTok, the Twitters. We have our Spotify, our Discord, our Blasters and Blaze Facebook group and Facebook page. You have our email, blastersandblazepodcast@gmail.com. Again, blastersandblazepodcast@gmail.com. For professional purposes only, people say the shenanigans. Remember, Stabby Stab over there on the Instagram, the Twitter, and the email. And if you are listening, dear flat earthers, dear vegans, dear hate mail writers, that is the email address you want to use. Stabby has lots of free time and she does not care if he hurts your feelings. It will be a match made in heaven. If they're really good, we'll read it on air.
No, I don't have as much free time anymore, and I would have told our guests about it if you didn't skip me as always. Oh. You always forget about me.
I don't always forget about you.
JR.
You monster.
Nick, this is where they all gang up on me now. You wanna protect me, save me again?
I protect you, but I don't want to get stabbed either. This is on you.
Just to throw it out there for our lovely listeners, Stabby is writing her first book. Hopefully it will be released next year in 2026 under the Apogee logo. It will be Apogee's first romance novel.
Aww.
And if you think I'm kind of cute and kind of cool looking sometimes, Nick also is putting out a comic book with a superhero that may or may not look exactly like Stabby.
Cool.
It looks exactly
she
like
has,
Stabby.
She will have her own author profile-y stuff eventually. Mm-hmm. But for now, Apogee's already linked in all of the show notes. All right. And with that said, you could support the show by going to buymeacoffee.com/author J.R. Handley. Again, buymeacoffee.com/author J.R. Handley. Be sure to put in the comment section that it is for the podcast. And I promise I will keep my co-hosts duly caffeinated. They will drink that coffee brand coffee until we get high on our own supply. They have the best coffee, tea, hot chocolate that Jana loves so much. We have personally ruined her A1C count with that hot chocolate, but she doesn't care because there's always next year to start over again. You didn't know this, dear listener, but my medical advice for you, because I'm not a doctor, but your A1 resets after the new year so you can start all over again.
That's true.
The new year wipes out all the sins of 2025. So drink some more hot chocolate.
It's like resetting your computer,
right? You turn it on and off again.
Yeah.
And if you want some of that coffee brand coffee, the link is in the show notes. Discount code is podcast grunts. You get 10% off. We get a little bit of a kickback. It's a win-win, people. And with that, Thank you for spending some of your precious time with us. For my crazy co-host, I am J.R. Handley, and this was the Blasters and Blades podcast. We'll be back next week at the same. Okay, we'll be back in season 6, where we'll indulge our love of nerd culture, cheesy jokes, and all things that go boom. Because I don't know when season 6 starts yet. I have not looked at the calendar for the future.
Disclaimer, disclaimer. JR is not a doctor. Don't listen to him.
Look, I took the Army Combat Lifesaver class, the Lick 'em and Stick 'em class. I can give you an IV.
Combat life taker, baby.
That's right.
Listen to your doctor. Listen to your doctor.
I was so bad at it. They're like, just go back to poking holes, JR. Don't ever take an aid bag. Please, I beg you. Just take the rifle. We get it. You're the squad designated marksman. Never touch an aid bag again.
All right, press the button, Frank.
And with that, who's Frank?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Bye-bye, y'all.
Happy New Year, everybody.
I still don't know